But we're going to start in Newcastle, close to where you were born. Newcastle United and Manchester City battled to a 3-3 draw. Just when you think City and Liverpool are so far ahead of everything else, they find themselves 3-1 down with what, like half an hour to go.
Yeah.
And I look at this, and I don't think it was a case of City being poor.
No.
It was Newcastle being really, really good.
Yeah, it was. When City took the lead, Gab, there was a 25-minute period after that where Newcastle were phenomenal. They were absolutely brilliant. They took it to Man City. They put them under pressure. St. Maximin had his best ever game in a Newcastle shirt against elite opposition. And they struggled. John Stones was all over the place with them. Carl Walker, who's a really efficient, rapid right back, was struggling. And Newcastle pumped them at one point in the game. They took it to them, got a 3-1 lead. And you're thinking, Newcastle can win this. Unfortunately for Newcastle, there was still half an hour left on the clock. And you know what Man City are like. And they went through the afterburners. They turned on the gears. They got it at 3-3. Then at that point, with whatever, 10, 15 minutes ago, I'm thinking they'll win this 4-3, 5-3. But Newcastle produced a brilliant game. To be honest, Gab, it was one of them games where you sit and watch it, and it was a classic. It was a brilliant game.
It was phenomenal entertainment. We should point out, too, like, Newcastle were good. Nick Pope also made some really big saves. But the other end, Newcastle also had chances, too. I just want to ask a little bit, not to be too negative here, but is defensively, are things a little bit worrying? I mean, or do you look at Kyle Walker and you say, you know what, you're only going to play Alan St. Maximin twice a year.
Exactly.
He has your number. You'll get better. Like, that's not so much of a concern. But defensively, no Laporte, Nathan Ake goes out after 20 minutes. Are they a little short there?
I don't know. I mean, when you're watching the game and you see Nathan Ake come off with a groin strain, they bring on Diaz, you think, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I think with Pep as well, he's got the ability to put Rodri back there and Calvin Phillips in the middle of midfield if needed. Done that forever with people like Mascherano and Fernandinho. He's got that tool in the box, if you like, to put a midfielder player back there, because 9 times out of 10 they have the ball. I think it's all right. It's like Liverpool. You go, Liverpool's short in midfield, yeah, because they've got a million injuries, but who sees it coming? So I think Pep was good after the game. I think he realised he was in a really, really good game. Brilliant for the neutral to watch. He obviously wants to win the game because they want to win the league and they want to take all 3 points. I get that, but I think he'll move on pretty quickly from that result.
I want to talk about how they got back into it. Obviously, you had Erling Haaland pouncing in the box. And it was interesting because he'd had an incident earlier where he hit the post. He had the other one where he was through one-on-one with Nick Pope. I mean, the guy's like a spider. He's like Gumby. He's like legs and
Don't
arms.
give him the ball at his feet. Just tell him to make saves.
It was tremendous. But then he just found that space in the box to score.
Yeah.
And then we saw De Bruyne doing the De Bruyne thing. That pass to Bernardo Silva, I don't know where it ranks on the list of De Bruyne's greatest ever passes because he's had so many. But how do you do that? As a former midfielder yourself, I'm not suggesting you were De Bruyne.
No.
But is the difference between somebody, it's not just the ability to execute the pass, it's the ability to see it, right?
It's all the things that if you ask a professional footballer, how did you do that? The honest answer is, we don't know. Because it's an ability to have the biomechanics and the vision to spot the pass and have the realisation where you're on the pitch. And there was black and white shirts right in front of him. Joe Willock was 10 yards away from him and he nutmegged him from 10 yards away. And then he watched the run of Bernardo Silva off the right-hand side and he put it into an area 9 or 10 yards in front of him, and the weight of pass was perfection. It was ridiculous. I remember having this conversation with Palomine in Ireland at about 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm now in his phone as Einstein. He calls me, and I call him, and Einstein comes up, because I said to him, after a fair few Guinnesses, I said, ask us how we do it. We don't know. I said, you asked me a mathematical question. I went, I've got no idea. My maths are horrendous, but I can do an equation on a football pitch where I can be in the middle of the park. I've got a 27-yard pass. I can see Ryan Giggs running at 16 miles an hour, and I can deliver the ball a yard away from him. How we do it, we don't know. But it's muscle memory over the years.
What I'm curious about, in your experience as an ex-pro, were there situations where you could see passes like that, but you say, I don't have the ability to hit the pass. I'll just end up giving the ball away, most likely.
Depends on your confidence levels.
But I mean, you could see passes, and you said, I can't hit that.
Yeah.
Is that what happened to you, or was it a case that there's just some passes you just don't see?
I think there's so many things that go through your mind in terms of how the game's going. If you're 2 or 3-0 up, you'll try the pass because what's to lose? I think if the game's tight, you wouldn't try that sort of pass. But De Bruyne tries them because he can do it. He's got a range of pass. I mean, as I said, Gab, when you nutmeg someone from 10 yards away, That's impossible. It's impossible because Joe Willock will watch that replay and he'll go, how did my legs not close? How did my brain not get the signal from there to there to shut my legs? And he'll kick himself. But De Bruyne has just got that ability, Gab, where he spots the pass. So again, the biomechanics of seeing the pass, arms in the right position, legs in the right position, the weight of pass, the execution of the pass, the run from Bernardo Silva. It's why I think he's the best in the world.
I don't know if I go so far as he's the best in the world, but we're going to talk about
that position for sure.
Well, in that position, arguably, possibly, he may well be.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.